All right, welcome to the Create a Quiz assignment part 2. So when we were learning HTML and CSS, you hopefully in part 1 of Create a Quiz assignment chose a topic and built a quiz website. And now for this assignment, you're going to use JavaScript to make this quiz interactive, where we can mark it and give feedback to the user and see how they did on our quiz. Okay. So the instructions here, right? Use JavaScript to add user interaction to the quiz webpage you built earlier. If you don't like your quiz webpage from earlier and you want to take the time to make a new topic or choose something or change it up, that's totally fine. But it just makes sense to use what you built already. Okay, so basic criteria. I have an example here with a chess quiz, but remember, of course, yours can do whatever topic you want. But the idea here is that you should be able to enter their answer. The most important piece in chess is the king. The most powerful piece in chess is the queen. There are 64 squares on a chessboard. Now that's actually a really interesting math question. How many squares are on a chessboard? Because if you assume that we're just talking about these small squares, yes, a chessboard is 8 by 8, which is 64 squares. But technically, isn't a group of 4 small squares, couldn't that be a square? And couldn't this be a square? And couldn't that? And then 3 by 3? Anyway, for this quiz, it's just the straightforward 64 squares, but an interesting math problem to think about how many different size squares and how many of them there are. Okay, a pawn may be promoted. No, a piece of, okay, so the pawn can be promoted to a bunch of different things. Often it's the queen, but let's say we're going to promote it to a knight. And we hit Mark Quiz. So the first criteria, right, the user should be able to enter their answers, and when I hit this Mark Quiz button, it should calculate the score and the percentage. So I got 4 out of 4, 100%. Okay, that is the first criteria. The quiz is marked on a button click event, and the results are displayed as a score and a percentage. Now we also should be giving feedback on each individual question. So it says, hey, this was correct, this was correct, this was correct, this was correct. If I got something wrong, like I wrote the pawn there and I hit Mark Quiz, you'd see incorrect. Okay, so provide feedback in some way to let the user know which questions were correct and which were incorrect. And also provide an appropriate response based on their score. If they did really well, a celebration score. If they didn't do as well, maybe some encouragement. So for this one, right, 3 out of 4 was just a great job. When I had it correct, I think it said, wow, you are a chess master. If I got some things wrong, let's just misspell some things. Let's make this 63. So 2 out of 4 is you're on your way to chess excellence, etc. Right? Let's get this one wrong, blah, blah, blah. Keep trying. Check out the link below. And let's get all of them wrong. Let's see what happens. You must be new to chess. The polite way of saying you are a newbie. Okay. So yeah, Mark Quiz, score, percentage, individual feedback on each question, and kind of a feedback based on their score. Okay, that's the basic criteria for functionality. Other things you can add for extended criteria is make the user input case insensitive. So for this last one here, right, if I wrote knight like that, that should be correct. If I wrote knight like that, that'll still be correct. It doesn't matter capital, lowercase, as long as it is the right word, it'll be correct. Okay, and I actually just highlighted here the other criteria, extended criteria, is accept multiple valid responses in at least one question. So correct answers here, a pawn can choose to be a knight or a bishop or a castle, still correct, or a rook, just another name for a castle, or a queen, correct, but it cannot be promoted to a king, incorrect. Okay, and I think I even have some correct answers here. If you write king here, I think we had that correct before, but you can also write the king, and that'll still be correct. Okay, so that's the extended criteria, case insensitive, and accept multiple valid responses. All right, that's it. Hope you have fun with this. Choose a topic you're interested in, make an interesting quiz, make it look nice, make it functional, and that's it. Have fun. You are well on your way to becoming a JavaScript master. You love if statements. Okay. And keeping track of the score is awesome, right? With variables, right? Using a variable to keep track of the score, incrementing that variable, adding 1 to it each time they get a question right. So lots of good stuff in this assignment, variables, if statements. Okay, have fun, take care, and see you in the next video.